All right, sports fans. It's February 18th, and it's in the middle of the night. My clock says night. Knights of Shining Armor, here I am, in living color. And we just get epidemic down to some reasonable level so I can hear myself think. You see right here in this clock? It says Wednesday night. Yeah. Wednesday night. 11:44 and 10 seconds. This right here is the exact time within 50 milliseconds of the real exact time. Because it comes through the Apple system. And when Apple decided to do the Apple Watch, no one could tell anyone that works at Apple is that they don't know what the hell time it is. Everybody knows what time it is. And Apple, because they came out with the Apple Watch, decided we're going to really make our watches so timekeeping. You know, the one thing I used to notice about people that had those Rolex watches, is that they were always at the wrong time. They'd spend $10, $20, $30, $50,000 on a watch, and they couldn't keep time. I mean, everybody, I had my watch, and they had their watch. And I'd say, hey, what time do you think it is? And they'd come up with some answer. And I'd say, nope, wrong time. Now, maybe things have changed, but Rolexes are attractive if you like gaudy gold. I don't like gaudy gold. As a matter of fact, this watch is pretty big. And I got it in black, so you wouldn't hardly notice it. When you get it in stainless steel, or tungsten or something, it's, titanium. It's too big. These guys wear these alarm clocks on their wrist. Yeah, it has all kinds of information on this watch face. I took a lot of time setting this up. And over in this corner is my blood sugar. In the middle is how many miles worth of energy do I have in my fuel tank in my Tesla. Can you imagine that? I can see it right on my watch. I touch it, and there's my Tesla car. You can see it. And it tells you the time. It verifies that you got the right car, and tells me the miles. Press that little button, goes back to the watch face. And on this corner, it says 34, and that's 34% energy in the Apple Watch. So we're going to put that on the charger. There we go. So that is now charging. And it has 11:47 as the time, and this says 11:47. And this right here, what's this doing? This is my elapsed time. How much time I've been talking to you guys. And I've been talking to you guys. I'm trying to adjust my cushion here. For 4 minutes and 35 seconds. And I've basically said nothing. Other than Rolexes don't keep good time, generally speaking. Yeah. Alright, so over here you can see, profile. Encourage. This camera is a nice fine edge on the edge of my computer. This is my MacBook Pro right here. And I have this black wire. Basically goes underneath and behind and comes in this side pocket over here. And it thinks it's a camera, but it's not. It's an iPad. And of course I have a camera because there's the camera. There's my ring. My $2.50 gold piece. It's an Indian head on there, but it's, in favor of Marilyn's family and Marilyn's Indian culture. So I'm very proud to know an Indian on my team. Or I'm on her team or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So these are all, well, look at that. I got a picture of my little black cat came in here and visited me. And I sent her back to bed, go to sleep. 11:49 p.m. Look at those eyes. Phew. Holy mackerel. Yeah. She is 15 and a quarter years old, 15 years old. Yep. She looks like she's 8. So she's an old lady cat. But she gets around pretty good. Yeah, I mean, totally good. Yeah, there's no impairment with this one. Or I have her brother also lives there. Same litter, they were both this big. Yeah. I mean, they were really small. And now this one's 12 pounds and the other one is 16 pounds. So I got a 16 pounder and a 12 pounder. The boy is bigger. My lion cat. Yeah. This device is being replaced Friday. I have a broken one. This is a replacement. Yeah. Same thing, Rodecaster. It's on the way. Synthetics. No, these things aren't supposed to be. Supposed to be favorites. There we go. There we go. And I have a picture of these things that you focus in on to activate the camera. The dining room one won't cooperate. So I'll have to figure out what's going on there. I sent $1,800 over to my account. Did that happen? Let's take a check. It happens within minutes. I just haven't looked at it. I transferred it this afternoon. Let's see if it's there. It's more human. There we go. It's there. There it is. Okay. This, I printed up these signs, which tells you, don't park in my parking place. Don't plug into my power without permission. And there it is. Yeah. We can do a print screen of that and make it official. We can just come right up here like that. And come over here like this. And then we save it to photos. Then I'm gonna, of course, go back to photos. And recently saved. There we go. Then we're going to put a heart on that. And we want to do one more thing. We want to edit it. And you want to pick the cleanup tool down there on the right hand side of that little oblong thing that below the hand that's going like that. And we're going to go like this and go like this, and then I'm going to get rid of this in its entirety. It should all go away with that. It is gone. There we go. Alright. Looks clean. $1,000 fine and 1 year in prison for stealing electricity. You thief. So a police report may be filed against you due to your violation of Florida Statute 812.14. Govern yourself accordingly. So I made up 2 stickers from Maryland. From this one right here, because there's 2 stickers on 1 page. So you end up getting 2 on the same sticker thing. And then she can sticker that right on the right on the window. Yeah. Okay, favorites, bingo. Collections, library, no, sort else favorites. Oh, there we go. We go to there. There we go. It's so complicated. It's so complicated. There we go. You see everything I see. So what happened a couple of nights ago? There we go. We can see the 3, and there we go. We can see the rest of it. That was the Mega Millions pick of, I believe. Let's make sure. 337.44. 14 Powerball, yeah. All right, that's it. I took a print screen of this because I wanted to remember these settings. 100% on that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And that gives the proper brightness. Fits right into my spreadsheet. So that you have the numbers, you got the black circles. You know, by adjusting those values, you know, like the black point set it to 100%. And the brightness to 100%. And these other 2 up here to, I guess, 100%. The color, 100%. Turn that up all the way so you can see the yellow there on that number 14. Yeah. Yep. Wonder if I can get rid of that. Let's try this. I want to get rid of this shadow thing that's in the middle here. I don't want to see shadow. That didn't work. I guess we'll have to just do this. It's not easy being queasy. Alright, we got most of it off. Good enough. There you go. Whoops. Gotta hit the check mark. Now it's official. So here's the Mega Millions result of February 17th, right? The 17th. The $395 million Mega Millions, which, right there. Here's a few of the previous ones. The 18th drawing on February 3rd, the $323 million. No one won that one. You see those are the results, and no one got them. And here's February 6th, and the 10th, then the 13th, and the 17th. And then in a couple of days, it'll be the 20th, which will be the bottom line here. It says rollover. Yeah. Roll over, Mr. Dover. Yeah. So on the 20th, if there is a single winner, the jackpot would be $416 million. If you elect the lump sum cash payout, which you have to announce, by the way, you've got to tell them. Once the lottery officials verify that you are the holder of a valid winning ticket, you have to do that within 60 days of the drawing, or else it's annuity, period. You got 180 days, which let's say 179. You got 6 months, I believe, to turn in your ticket, or else it expires. Can you imagine? You got a $400 million Mega Millions thing, and you forgot to check your tickets, or you lost your ticket, and it just goes away. Ugh. I don't know what we could do a search, not today, but and ask Grok or somebody what was the largest jackpot that was never recovered or never claimed. I don't want to know the total amount of all the lottery tickets that weren't. I'm sure that someone wrote a story about that. But can you imagine when you got a cash lump sum of $188 million and you lost your ticket? It's a 290 million to 1 gamble. In other words, a terrible bet. The chances of losing are 190 million against you. 290 million against you. So it's like if everybody in the United States, all 300 million of you, bought one of these tickets, only one of you in the whole United States of America might win. For 290 million to 1 shot against you. Yeah, so the chances of winning are slim and none. So buy the ticket and maybe you get some of the smaller prizes. I have a couple of tickets in my envelope. I have not verified them. No, they're not. I'm sorry. So you'd be checking this 337, 44, 52, 63. Mega Millions Ball 14. That one there. No one won that one. Because the computer knows if you had the winning combination. But if you did, it was a $178 million winner. I got a yellow ball next to it. So no one got the 135,800,000 credit to their checkbook. That's what they do. They get an AC. You give them the routing and transit number, the R&T number, and you give them your account number, and bam, they just bring a copy of a canceled check. Yeah, and they just pop it right in there. Uh-huh. They pop it in there no sooner than 15 days following the draw date. He goes, remember, there are 45 states and Puerto Rico and District of Columbia. So actually 47, jurisdictions that, and do you know how many lottery terminals there are? There are 232,000. Holy mackerel, where's that story? I gleeped it. I have a, is this it? No. A couple of days ago. What's this one say? There it is with the red circle. 223,000 lottery retail locations across the United States. 223,000. Holy mackerel. Anyway, so one of the reasons why you can't pick up your money any earlier than 15 days following the draw date. Now the draw date, it's like like on the 19th, but it's at 11 p.m. So between 11 p.m. and midnight, they can't do anything. So that's one of the 15 days. So they got 2 weeks following the draw date to audit all the terminals, audit themselves, make sure they've amassed all the cash, and they make, each lottery retailer, every one of the 223,000 retail locations, they each, they have accounts, a special account between the official lottery spot for that state and the retail location. They have an account so that if you took in $10,000 worth of tickets, you're gonna essentially, it's not a wire transfer, it's an ACH credit. You're going to do a credit to your account that they have the combination to, and they open up that account that you have, and they suck the money out, and then they credit you 5%, because you get 5% of the ticket sales. So if you sell someone a $5 ticket, that's the smallest ticket you can buy. Costs you $5. $5 for a set of numbers, right? 5 times 5 is 25. So they make 25 cents, okay, when they sell you a $5 ticket. If you were to buy, 100 hours, they would make 5% of 100 is $5. So they make $5 on a 100-hour, for each 100 hours worth of tickets. So $5 becomes $50. So, depends on how many tickets. How, that's why they put signs up in the front of the windows. $14,000 ticket sold last week. Publix had over $1 billion ticket. I think they had several of them. Not the same Publix, but a Publix, supermarket. I'm having trouble with Twitter, with X. So there's a site called help.twitter.com. help.twitter.com. And it comes back with an answer like this. What if I did it on the iPad? help.twitter.com. And there you go. I just press that right there. Does it do anything? one-on-one expert chat. I like that. What the hell is the matter with my account? Yeah. Let's type a question, see what happens. I'm having trouble streaming see what happens. All right, I'm having trouble. This is live TV, folks. I'm having trouble streaming with your Twitter account handle, FAU for you. Could you please, could you let me know what device and operating system? Oh, this is. Consultant. We are now going back and forth with somebody. Thanks for letting me know. The issue started December 5. Are you seeing any specific error? 520. Thank you for I need further details. Can I have your full name? Oh boy. So now they're going to connect me with something other than I thought I was talking with a computer technician. All right, is there anything else I need to do? Thank you for providing. And how should you like to connect with the technician? Anyways, now they want more money. Fully refundable. Oh shit. Nope, I've already paid them $65. They're getting nothing else. And I can't talk to them, so. Anyway, that's my problem. I get all this crap. Paid $65, supposed to get advice. And they say, give me another $5, it's fully refundable. Yeah. You got 65, you ain't getting anything else. Nope. So, that's the end of that. Welcome to my world. Look at that cat. That's my Kenya. We named our cats after coffee. Kenya and Kino. Both African coffees. Yeah. This device is coming Friday. Send the other one back. Won't start. Push the button, nothing happens. No smoke, just doesn't happen. Here's the rollover. Roll over, Mr. Dover. 416 million, February 20th. It's, This is the 19th, so it's midnight. It's 12:21. Yeah. And then 29 seconds, 30 seconds. You see it right there. Can you see? Yeah, you can see right there. That's the time of day. This is the elapsed time. I've been talking for 38 minutes. I got distracted with trying to fix a problem, trying to get Twitter going, and what do I get? Send me money. And there's no way to answer back. They just, boom, fill out the form or go away. Well, since I'm not going to talk to them on the phone, I'm going away. And I'm not sending them any more money. Nope. I paid $65 for access to these experts. Now they want more money. No. Not happening. Stick 'em up. Mayor Mamdani threatens the governor. Raise taxes or else. He can't raise taxes. She can. He wants to spend money, and he don't have any money. He's already got a shortfall of an eye-popping $127 billion. Let's see. Mayor Mamdani issued an extraordinary threat to the governor of the state of New York while unveiling an eye-popping $127 billion budget yesterday. Either the city taxes on the people making more than $1 million, they tax them more, or he'll raise property taxes for everyone in Gotham City by 10%. Either way, he insists on spending massively. Yep, there he goes, like all good communists. Yeah, tax the rich. There's only a few of them, so they can't. If they all of them say no, we've got them under control because there are more of us than them. So when that happens, yeah, it's bad news. The wealthy people will get smart and they'll just leave. All of a sudden, they'll just be gone. And then you get taxed nobody. Or not those people. Sooner or later, Margaret Thatcher had an expression, sooner or later you run out of other people's money. And that's the problem he's going to face, because the wealthy people that live in New York City will take a hike. They'll go somewhere else, either all the way down to Florida where there's no taxes on income. None of this stuff where the mayor raises taxes. No. Governor DeSantis covers that very nicely. The only tax there is, I believe, the sales tax, and you have gasoline tax. Yeah, got that. And we have no income tax. Yeah. Real estate tax, sales tax. That's Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. This is the picking is on Tuesday, 3:37:44. That's it. Here's a check. I did a check, a Twitter check. Developer console is normal. That's normal. XAPI version 2 normal. All systems are operational. So what the hell? What's not to like? So that's the problem. We're trying to figure that out. I will figure it out. I'm going to figure it out tomorrow. Not now. Gosh darn it. I keep wrestling with that edge. There we go. There we go. This is my transfer. See, I put 18 on there because I did it on the 18th. So if I lost this thing, see audio console I'm looking for. FedEx. Mm-hmm. 18th. It's the lottery number. That's a clean one. This is actually the one that I put in the spreadsheet. You copy that image, put it right in the spreadsheet. Yeah. Number search results. Yeah. So we'll see if there's more Mega Million activity. This thing, you know what you should start investing in? That is not a gold nugget. That is uranium. So when they mine uranium, when you put this near a Geiger counter, it starts clicking. Yeah, that's a piece of uranium. And I guess, naturally occurs, and that's uranium ore. So it's, got dirt mixed in with it somehow. I don't sound very professional, do I? I'm a chemical smart guy. Graduated with a degree in chemistry. That was my major. Minor, I had a double major. Major in chemistry, major in biology, and a minor in math. Graduated with a BA and a BS. Double degree. 6 years. And that's a piece of uranium ore, I'm told. I abstracted that somewhere from the web because they say, we're going to transition into collecting uranium instead of, which, how the hell do you do that? They're going to make uranium coins and they're going to be radioactive in your vault? I don't think so. Yeah, because they refine that and it clicks. Then you get click, you get more clicks. Yeah, I think we'll stick with gold bullion coins. Sweetie, don't get cute. Yeah, she's drinking a glass of wine, and hopefully she's not spending the family jewels. TSA, there you see them all. These TSA people are going home. This TSA person is checking your bags. And you put your stuff in those little gray trays, and they go through a conveyor belt and go inside the machine, X-ray machine. And there's a machine operator that looks at everything, an X-ray image of your stuff. And sorry, sir, you have this this bottle of fine scotch. You cannot take on the airplane because it's more than 6.5 ounces. It's 27 ounces. So 750 milliliters. Sorry, can't do it. You can send it home. How the hell do you do that, or you can give it to me and I'll have a nice sip tonight. Yeah, that's about the best. Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away. I believe yesterday. He died at 84 years old. Yeah. I know, it gets nerve-wracking when you're 80. When you're in your 80s and you got all these people dying in their 80s. I feel, when's my number up? What happens? You go to sleep and you just don't wake up. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, well, hopefully. I keep taking my pills. I don't have a lot of pills. Dr. Brian Buffet did a good job. Quadruple bypass surgery about 7 years ago. Yeah. Donald Trump. Maryland, I believe. Maryland, Virginia, Potomac River. Massive sewer spill. It's pumping in there. I mean, my God, turn off the pipe. Must get to work immediately. If they can't do the job, they have to call me and ask, and I'll get it done. Say pretty please. Yeah, so the federal government is not at all involved with this, and they want help. All they have to do is ask. So call and ask if you're not going to do it, but it's got to get done right now, or else we're going to start locking up people, because that's criminal. If it's not criminal, it should be. Yeah, oh boy. Here's a picture of Tesla's robo-taxi, robo-cab. No pedals, no steering wheel, no side view mirrors. But they got side view cameras. You got front view cameras. You got a rear view camera. They got 7 or 8 cameras all the way around that car to make sure it doesn't, slip over into somebody else's lane. You just tell it where you want to go, and it goes. And you got a nice big screen in the middle. You can see the black screen in the middle. It's right smack in the middle. No steering wheel, no pedals. Nice comfortable seat. You strap yourself in with your seatbelt. These doors come down, they latch, and it'll take you wherever the heck you want to go. You don't have to buy it. All you got to do is call for it in your iPhone. There's an app. Let's see if I can show you the app. Let's see now. Cyber, Cyber. Did I type it right? No, I got too many C's. Come on. YBERCAB. Cybercab. Let's do that. Robotaxi. Crap. Keep that. Get rid of that. Alright, so let's go to the App Store. Where's that? Right there. And type in here. There's the magnifying glass. Type on the top there. CYBERCAB. Cybercab. Here it is. Tesla Robotaxi. There it is, and it's Lori. Let's press open. So, we are available in Austin, Texas. And then and the Bay Area. There's two locations. It goes from San Jose all the way up to San Fran. It covers that territory. They gradually keep expanding the territories, and you can hail the cab. Say, "Hey, cab." They have several hundred of them going around. Yeah. You're outside of the service area. It says, no kidding. All right, so I have the app. When it's available, they're hiring people from Miami, and Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. I'm sure the whole South Florida area will be incorporated, in a geofenced. So it'll probably go between the airports, go to the beach, let's see what they come up with. But between now and they're going to start, manufacturing these things in April. They had a picture with 400 people that are in the the Austin, Texas plant where these things are going to get pumped out. And they basically run the machine, 94% of what happens in that factory to make these things is automated, robotics. Manufactured with robotics. Stamp here, weld there, squeeze this, get that, screw this, whatever. and only 6% of the overall assembly is conducted by a human being or an Optimus robot. So some of the more mundane things, like pick up this and take it over there, you get the robot to do that. And leave the more interesting jobs to, the 6% of the workforce that are human beings. But there you see the finished product. And it is, they will be made available for sale later this year for somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000. That's the price. It's a two-seater, no wheels, no pedals, totally autonomous. It's got a nice big trunk. You can either just rent it as you need it, and charge you, $1.50 a mile or something. There'll be some pricing structure. Let's say $1 a mile. So if you get a 5-mile ride, it costs you $5. It might be $1.50. So if it's 5 miles, it might cost you $7.50. So they're going to start production where they come out of the factory maybe 1 or 2 a day, and those vehicles will be essentially stripped down to make sure everything was assembled properly. So they carefully disassemble it to see if everything was assembled properly. Yeah. Has about a 300-mile battery, 300-mile fuel tank, let's say. Maybe it's 275-mile fuel tank, whatever. You can either plug it in to charge it, or they have a automated charger where you just back up over this pad thing, and it delivers energy into the battery. I think when you drive over the pad, there's something that comes up under the car and kind of gets connected or close to the car, so that the coils, the energy in the coils, it's kind of like the wireless charging of your phone. There's a coil inside this case that interacts with the coil that's inside the phone, which interacts with the coil that's inside this disc. So when you connect it, there you go, it connects. You hear a little beep. There's a little green circle, which I'm putting my finger on. There you go. Oh, the little circle went away because it's fully charged. Yes, sir. Yep, I got my SM7B microphone right here. This is the best vocal microphone that's made. Yeah. The president should carry one of these with him. His staff should. So when they plug in a microphone for him to speak towards, it should be one of these. Yeah, he has a particular microphone that he likes, and every place he goes, those are installed on the podiums where he speaks, but he should consider the SM7B Shure microphone. President Trump, please consider using Shure. I have no financial connections with the Shure company, other than the fact that I'm a user. I've got 550 episodes of my, it's like having late night coffee with Jimmy. Yeah, I'm gonna have a sip right now. Yeah. And after I was trading, Tesla stock is down $1.05 from where it closed. So it closed at 411, and now it's at 410.28. 410.28 cents. Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's way overpriced because they're counting on cash flows that are a couple of years out, and that's not exactly. They have all kinds of exciting things that are going to happen, but it's going to take years before it hits the cash flow. So it's trading at 385 times. The price earnings ratio is 384. What? You look at all, like NVIDIA. I click on NVIDIA. PE ratio is what? It's 46. I click on Apple. PE ratio 33. I touch Google. PE ratio 28. Meta. PE ratio 27. Amazon 28. Microsoft 25. IBM 23. It's ridiculous. Show me another major New York Stock Exchange company that has a PE ratio of 380 that's viable in doing business, and it justifies that kind of PE ratio. It should be, the PE ratio should be 38. This could be an order of magnitude down. Instead of 400, it should be 40. Then the PE ratio would be 38 if you divided everything by 10. One order of magnitude. So then the PE ratio would be 38 based on actual earnings. And, why is it not 25? Because, you got a lot of future stuff going on, so you pay up to 38 times earnings. But if the stock was $41.13, the PE ratio would be 38.4. So there's a case to be made that it's overpriced by, $350. The price should be $41. Sure, things are going to happen. Well, when they happen, then the PE ratio times whatever happens, the value goes from 41 to 61 to 81, 101. But god damn it, PE ratio of 384, and you guys are whining that it's not high enough. How nuts is that? Jesus. I don't know. Elon's a smart guy, but we shouldn't be. Everybody, the investment banking community shouldn't be pricing this at 380 times earnings. I'm sorry. Stock is way overpriced. So maybe during this period, the first couple of months of the year, because, this earnings picture the end of March, the first quarter, it's going to be terrible. So you have a couple of quarters in a row where the financial results are worse than last year, and they got this thing priced at $384 a share. No, all this cybercab crap. They're going to be coming out of the factory, one a day, then 2 a day, then 4 a day, and 6 a day, starting in April, sometime in April. Who knows? It might get delayed to April, May. I don't know. Just saying that, they just had one dribble out of the factory today. They just turned on the factory, and they've made prototypes. But this is the version that's actually coming out of the factory. The supply lines are established, and they're flowing into their production line here, which is 94% automated. And, and then gradually they start turning up the machines. So instead of, one a day, or one every other day, it's going to be excruciatingly slow until, all the machines are, adjusted, and, because they can adjust the machine and, make sure that panel with that door lines up perfectly so that the seal is good with the rubber seal all the way around, and that the seam between the door and the edge of the car, is aligned properly. And, there's all kinds of adjustments you can make on the machines to fix that. That's, that's what we do now, or that's what they do. They're going to fine tune all those adjustments, because all that robotics they're bolted down to, a floor, they're computer driven. All this stuff is activated by computers. A whole series of them. And they can, tweak. They make very careful measurements. They see the door is just a little bit, needs to be, rotated, 1.3 degrees. Because the seam edge over here is a little too high than the seam edge right there. So we rotate that door a little bit. The seams will be corrected. That's an adjustment they can make, in the factory. When that door is set and welded and screwed on, whatever the attachment is. It's probably bolted. So they have to get the robotics fine-tuned so the seam lines up properly. Yeah. And that the window goes up properly. And gets interfaced with that, so you can see the seam. The rubber seal has lots of rubber all the way around. Nice soft rubber. Door presses against that. When the door locks, you push a button and it comes down and locks. Or when you fasten your seatbelt, the door automatically shuts. You can start pulling it, and once you start to move the door, it'll take over and continue the motion and seal itself up. This car's, got both doors wide open. So you got 2 seats, you got an armrest in between, you got a couple of spots where you can put, 20-ounce cup of soda or iced tea or whatever. No side pockets though, because side pockets is things you can drop in there, and that's just one more thing it has to clean. So every time these cabs get used, or at least every day, the cabs go back into, a resting place where they can get washed and the windows cleaned and vacuum up all the little, things that have been soiled the carpet or soiled the plastic tray that's in the front there. Floor mat. And suck things out of the, vacuum up the seats and vacuum up the footwell here, wipe off this screen, have a big thing that comes across the dashboard, clean up any dust. There's I'm sure these robo cabs will go through a return line where all the robotics will clean these cars up one by one. Take 5 minutes a car. And, so if people leave the soda cup behind, there's a device that picks up the soda cup, empties it out, and then puts the container in a trash or a recycle bin. Because, it's a constant flow of these robo-taxis coming back every 24 hours to get cleaned up. So it comes back into a home base of some place, a warehouse that's been constructed to deal with the cleanup and storage of these units. So, you have more of them on the road during, the heavy traffic times when people are either coming to work or going home from work. And then when things slow down at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., the number of robo-taxi, robo-cabs that are on the road would drop. And these robo-cabs will get cycled through the service station for cleanup. There's really not anything to service as far as, the drivetrain, the motors, the fuel tank, the actuators, all that is, million-mile checkup stuff. There's no filters, there's no changing of the oil, there's none of that. No. They're all sealed systems, guaranteed for a million miles. Yep, that's what's going on. RoboCab. So the experts that have been reviewing and following this stuff, they're delighted that the first Cybercab came across the finish line and out the front door of the factory that's, part of the factory that's building the Cybercab. And then once everything, all the fine-tuning gets fine-tuned over the next couple of 6 weeks. Well, we're getting ready for a launch date in April, according to Elon Musk. He's not the best on estimating time, I will say. So the investment community says, all right, well, it may be delayed, but it's going to happen this year, for sure, yeah. There we go. My watch is 50% charged. An hour and 15 minutes. It's 1 a.m. See how Flipboard's doing. Welcome to the Year of the Horse. Yes, sirree. This is the Chinese New Year. Yeah, Year of the Horse.
Chinese New Year is on Sunday, February 7th, 2027.
Yeah. we got it. Check. Save the photos. Apple's long-rumored AR smart glasses. Oop, near the horse. Yeah. A judge blocks deportation of Palestinian activist who led protests at Columbia University. And some judge says, nope, can't deport him. These liberal judges, they want to keep these bad guys in the country for some reason. Yeah. Alexa, turn on the den lights. Just lost our lighting. At 1 a.m. Must be 1 a.m. Yeah, 1 a.m. in 24 seconds. You can see it right there. You can't see it. Ooh, it's right there. 1 a.m. in 40 seconds, yeah. Rhode Island ice skating rink shooting. Jesse Jackson. Apple Podcast app now supports HTTP live streaming. That's interesting. We'll have to figure out what the name of that app is. Next, it cycles through this. See, there's here the horse. There's our Palestinian activist, unnamed. Rhode Island ice skating rink shooting. Suspect killed by the ex-wife. Phew. All right, let's click on this one because I want to find out how to get that going. If I can get let's go to my pictures and change this to recently saved. There we go. And this right here. And then I can touch these words, copy it, or just look it up. Look up. Apple's podcast app now supports HTTP. Apple Podcast. So let's just touch that. Get the story. Let's get the goods. I gotta squeeze it up so you can read it. There we go. This will allow users to seamlessly switch between watching and listening. That's curious. Previously, it only streamed video in various formats. Now it supports live streaming. Yeah, that's what we want. There you go. There's the headline news right there. Alright, how do we do that? Alright, I have 26.4 on this iPad. So we can live stream from an iPad. Let's touch that blue link. HTTP live streaming. A streaming tool. Streaming examples. Where's the link for the app? I'm looking at this list of links. What would we call it? I guess it would be HTTP live streaming. Let's copy that. Let's go to the App Store. Click the magnifying glass. Touch the and paste that and enter and see what happens. Let's see. All right, none of these apps look like what. That's probably too soon. All right, we gotta. We'll let that roast for a while. Send live and on-demand audio and video to Apple devices and PCs with HTTP live streaming. I'm reading this little paragraph. Download the tools. See what the tools look like. That's me. I'm not a developer. See what happens. Ooh. Allow. Oh God, now what do I do with that? 266,371. You're seeing it in live and in color. Little shader converter. Live streaming tool for this looks like something I need right here. This HTTP live streaming tool for Mac OS. This is what I need. There it is. I don't know what that means. Anyway, that's coming up. I should do that on the Mac, so that when it gets downloaded into the Mac. Because this is an iPad. Yeah. All right. So now I can page through these things. Oh, this is, I'm in my photo album. Let's get back to here. See if anything else came up. Jesse Jackson, towering icon of civil rights. Yeah. All right. I'm done. It's 1 o'clock. 1:10. 1:11. And 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bam. 1:11. 1:01. We're out of here. Okay. So we're gonna come back to the photo album. Make this full screen. Yeah. That's familiar, right? Oh yeah. We click on that. Oops, on this, I should say. There we go. Now we're ready to say goodnight. I hope you have a good night. It's 1:11 a.m. Eastern Time. I've consumed half my coffee. While I've been talking for 1 hour and 28 minutes and 52 seconds. And now I'm going to say good night. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.